r/ask Reddit what was the kinkiest thing you have done in your life so far. Also make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy. One of my BFS, IOCOMF if it matters, at the time put my anal hook up my ass and attached it to the leather collar around my neck. I started sucking his cock and from the movement of my head, I had an orgasm. If he reddits and reads this thread, he will so know this is me. He still has my hook. Iokov heard the story before. The hook was found embedded in his car door when he got home. Thatakos how he knew it really happened. Was me and a girl alone in a suite at a hockey game. Third period and nobody had scored yet. We decided to fuck in the suite. Locked the door to the suite and bent her over behind a couch that was in the suite so nobody else could see from other seats in the stadium. The instant I stuck my dick in, our team scored. The announcer was yelling goal and everybody was cheering. She is now my wife of 10 years. You both scored at the same time. High five. Probably when my then girlfriend invited me over to help her parents with their computer. I got there and she was alone, apparently they were headed home, due any minute. She took me to her room and I bent her over the bed. Right as I came, we heard the front door open, and we'd left her bedroom door open. Quick cleanup, fix clothes, and then I met her parents for the first time. What was the computer issue and did you ever learn the Octi am not good at technological line? Deleted. Plot twist, it was actually her sister the whole time. Got a handjob at the edge of the pit at a Godsmack show in 1999 during Voodoo. Do you remember why you came? Double dominated my ex with another girl. Strap on spit roast kinda vibe. That's probably up there. Damn, Thatakos definitely up there. I fucked identical twin brothers. How can you be sure you didn't just fuck one of them twice? MFF 3-way in front of 15 to 20 people at a New Year's Eve party. Not meant to be kinky, just my first time drinking Everclear. What a strange Everclear ad. Asked a stranger on Reddit to control my remote toy while I worked. Did you win the chess tournament though? Had my cock sucked on a porn theater stage in front of about 20 people. I was talking to my grandma's, 68, boyfriend and this kind of conversation came up and he said that he would go to the porn theater in Colorado sometimes and dudes would come up to him and ask if they could give him a blowy. I asked if he let them and he said I didn't care. In high school, I was having sex with a girl I was dating, who was on top and stood up as she was about to have an orgasm, and squirted on my stomach. It was the only time Iokov ever seen squirting and been squirted on. Sometimes, I think about it and get turned on. Logged into Pornhub with my Facebook account. Logged into Phub with my Gmail ACC, which my parents used. We covered all the windows, put on black lights, she had glow-in-the-dark tongue studs, foreplay with non-toxic glow-in-the-dark body paint and highlighter, and fucked. How was the cleanup afterwards? I'm keen to try this. Asking my BF if we can get donuts after while I was on top. He got excited for donuts and finished within a minute and we got donuts. Along these lines, if you know about how long your sex usually lasts, and you have a newer stove, you can put cinnamon buns in the oven and set it to turn on and cook at a specific time. Having fresh cinnamon buns right after sex is amazing. My friend says that if you do this, you can also condition yourself to get horny in anticipation of orgasm at the smell of cinnamon buns baking. I had anal sex with a girlfriend on the hiking trail at night. We had to stop a couple of times when we heard hikers coming. Took the dirt road twice. I had a threesome with two guys and the part where I was taking one from behind and doing oral on the other stand out in my mind as my most am I doing gakko moment. It was intense. Been there, on the other side, yeah that's an odd one. Used to hang out with my buddy and his GF all the time and one day he was like hey, his GF, was wondering if you want to fuck her with me. And it was a slow summer day and we had nothing else to do, so I said what the hell. I was single and just looking for some fun while not in a relationship. Started having sex with a MILF 10 years older than me in an open marriage. Fucked all the time at my house, their house, the woods, the park, changing rooms, etc. Did anal, squirting, deep throat, videos, etc. She opened up about their life and I kind of commented about how he did not treat her right, cause he was really shitty. She had been wanting to leave for a long while but didn't have the courage. She left him. I supported her and continued dating her for 4 years, 3 of which we lived together. Ultimately our lifestyle/goals didn't match up, but we ended on really good terms. It was a wild fucking ride in every sort of way. No regrets. I'm just now working on figuring out what I want with the next stage of my life. I supported her and continued dating her for 4 years, 3 of which we lived together. Ultimately our lifestyle/goals didn't match up, but we ended on really good terms. It was a wild fucking ride in every sort of way. This is an oddly sweet love story. Probably one of the weirdest was someone I play with trying to condition me to be turned on by the sound of chewing to see if it could override my disgust from misophonia with arousal. Did it work? I can't stand the sound of people eating, I want to stab them with my fork. The GF I was with was really submissive. I explored my DOM side with her a lot. One winter day where it was snowing outside, she spent the entire day leashed. We didn't leave her house, she couldn't go anywhere without me, and I could use her as I wanted. She spent half the day with a butt plug on, and as you can imagine we did all kind of nasty things at any moment. If you ever do something like this, remember the aftercare is very important. Don't forget to cuddle. I have 2 questions. 1. When does aftercare start? Is there a signal? 2. What is the most important part of aftercare? Like what's the goal? To remind them you care about their happiness in an affectionate way? Used to drive Lyft and was giving 3 women a ride to a concert in downtown LA. On the way there all 3 of them flashed me their breasts, asked me my opinions on their breasts, and then had me grope them for judging how nice they were. Needless to say, one of my favorite rides to drive for. Got a 5-star rating too. You provided a boob lift. I was handed an ink pen by a coworker, which had a picture of a very fetching young lady on it, making a provocative pose, but fully clothed. I turned the pen the other way, and by golly, the lady's clothes disappeared, and I saw her undergarments. I saw everything. The brassiere, ankles, everything. It was so hot. Those pens were favorite gifts from American soldiers to East German border guards back in the day. When I was single I really enjoyed threesomes with couples, but only as the third party. I liked being able to dip out easily if drama were to arise. Now I'm married, those days are long over. Yeah, right. Like I'm gonna believe a dishonest ferret. One time I was at a sex party and I fucked a woman in a cow outfit tied to some sort of contraption with my strap on so hard it broke whatever the thing was she was attached to. My boyfriend who was watching said he's surprised I don't brag about it more, but here I am. Delivered pizza for a while. Always gave any extras to the homeless lady living in the alley. Updidiox, yes, I read it as kindest. LOL, I also read the title as kindest. CSC. Laid, naked and covered in water-based lube, between 2 sheets of latex with a vibrator wand between my legs, got vacuum sealed into the whole contraption, and was told that I couldn't get out of it till I'd had 3 orgasms. I'm highly claustrophobic, and once that pump sucks the air out you do not move. The lady running this machine played with my tits and whispered sexual threats in my ears the entire time. I had 5 orgasms before remembering the safe word. How did you breathe? About once a week for a year in college I would sleep with my Foco's roommate with my GF watching. The roommate was really shy and never did anything socially. She had gotten out of a long-term relationships right before school started and drunkenly told us the only part she missed was regular sex. My GF suggested she could use me, with some rules, GF would always be there, but never join, always use condoms, anything kinky had to get approved by GF and we don't tell anyone. After a year the living arrangements changed so I was not used anymore. Year later GF and I broke up and roommate and I became friends with benefits. Your ex had a kook queen fetish clearly LMAO. Damn, I read this as what was the kindest thing you have done in your life and was very confused. Had a three-way with my ex and her friend. Her friend used a strap-on and we spit roast my ex and then I fucked the friend in the ass while she was fucking my girlfriend. Fun times. And there were more than a few times my ex would surprise me by being in my house without letting me know she'd be coming over and finding her watching porn with earbuds in on my bed face down ass up in a very open invitation to let me relieve stress from my hard day at work. Desecrated my boss desk with my GF. When I was 15 I stretched the phone cord so far down the hall I could actually sit in the laundry room with the door closed. I kinked the fuck out of that cord so bad it was never right again. Outrageous. What would your parents say? I was sexually involved with a male friend in 2007. One night on a houseboat we did ecstasy with two other couples, 2 men and 1 woman. Myself and the friend had a threesome with another male that resulted in my being double vaginally penetrated. I've had many multi-person sex encounters but only once have I had 2 dicks in only 1 hole. I love doing this with my husband and a toy. I have a vibrating toy that stimulates both the G-spot and clit at the same time that we do it with and it's hands down the best orgasm I've had in my life. Randomly had sex in front of a couple who was also having sex. We were all friends and it was weird how it all unfolded, but hot too. We were hanging out, partying, drinking of course. We were dancing and it turned into dry humping and who could do the dirtiest moves, then making out. Next thing I know, we're all taking our clothes off and doing it in front of each other. There was no swapping or anything, definitely looking back and forth. At the time it was one of the hottest things I've ever experienced, but afterwards also one of the most awkward. Got fingered on the Ferris wheel at a county fair 10 minutes after meeting a guy I talked with online for a few days, then went to his house after and had the most mind-blowing sex. He ate me out for a solid hour and made me come at least a dozen times. I had to stop at a gas station after I left his house and get 2 Gatorades to recover, haha. Octageacle. That sounds to me like octmonocle. Ate some ass on the side of the road at 5 in the morning hours after I met her. Got kissed on the cheek by a guy at school one time, that's about it unfortunately. Whore. Probably that one time having anal sex with my GF in a church bathroom, while her family was sitting in the pews, because church was literally happening. Def going to hell for that one. Nah, anal is okay, it says so in the Bible. A man kissed me on the forehead and I almost cried, either that or knife and blood play. So Weckery just gonna skip past the whole knife and blood play thingage? Alright Colazio, I'll choose to mind my business. My ex was really into me controlling her orgasms, so she could use a toy on herself and I could tell her to slow down, or speed up, or even stop. I could also tell her when she was allowed to come, calling her either degrading or encouraging names depending on her mood. Morgan, you were truly the experience of a lifetime. First ever hookup, girl starts calling me daddy and begs me to spank her. I spanked her. Girl asked me to slap her. Cause escalated to punching and I was like GTFO. We really wanted to have sex, and could no caught in my apartment for reasons, so we looked for a back alley somewhere to do it. We were caught in the act and had to leave, so we ended up just finishing things in plain sight in a parking lot. Not my proudest moment. Doesn't caught matter, had sex. Octrees and Sockle. A couple of stories socks. Met a girl in a LAN party, she seemed wild and she was giving out massages if you donated to the charity she was sponsoring. I joked around and asked if I donated more I could get a kiss as well, super cringe looking back, and to my surprise she said yes but would find me later on. I gave her my seat number and a few hours into my Saturday evening she drunkenly stumbles and finds me. She ended up jerking me off under the table whilst my friends were super into their game of League of Legends and we snuck back to my tent an hour later. We fucked for a while and her friend rings her, she asked if her friend could meet us at my tent and of course I said yes. Her friend came and she was smoking though a little cook so I shot my chance at a threesome after 30 minutes of interaction and it was successful. I ended up coming in her ass whilst her friend was trying to clean up the mess as it was falling out. Mental night. Me and my wife did long distance for a couple of years and every time we would reconnect we would have sex. Escapades. We did it in the airport car park in San Francisco, behind a bush in Heathrow that backed onto a house, and we used to have sex in public places on trails and hikes. But now we are in our 30s and have a 2-year-old so we are boring now, haha. Big takeaway. A League of Legends player not only had sex but a threesome. I had sex with my ex in a cemetery ox. It was cold. Had sex with a friend's mom after a party while everyone else was passed out in the next room. Or, when my wife and I had sex on a four-wheeler at a very well-known motorcycle/quad riding area in Munster, TX, in daylight, just feet off of a well-traveled trail. Had a first date practically bully me into tying her up and blindfold her. Was with a woman in her hotel while her female boss was with a guy in the other bed in the room. Fucked in a forest. Came on an anthill by accident. Probably have like 800 daughters now.